1998. It was the year when those grisly murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains. Not much longer, the outbreak in Raccoon City. The same day I started working for the Raccoon City Police Department. Now I'm here, looking for the president's missing daughter.
Thought you were gonna do more action movie stuff, no?
No, we're doing this one by the books.
Leon, I hope you can hear me. I'm Special Agent Contrivance. In the context of a game, I'm a clever way of explaining mechanics without breaking the fourth wall too badly. In the context of a video, I'm sort of like the beef jerky in a bag of silica gel. In case you just graduated from the academy, here's a reminder. Don't hurt anyone who isn't actively threatening your life. Aim for the center mass on humans. Do not steal from these people unless we're talking about keys that can further enforce the warrant. Don't go breaking anything without reason. Make sure you're only using weapons classified for service. This region has an abundance of, quote, medicinal herbs that the federal government views as illegal. I don't care how hurt you are. Do not use those herbs.
Loud and clear.
Lastly, Leon, it's 2004. Bird flu is a huge issue around the world right now. If you see anything avian, you have full clearance to shoot on site. We're testing a theory that birds doesn't real, but it could be 10 years before the department is certain.
Responding officer became 10-8 on scene at 1300 hours. Northbound from transport, officer encountered and subdued possible avian threats. Officer became aware of a domicile with its door left ajar. Attempts to knock were left unanswered. Officer alerted residents as they entered the domicile. Officer made contact with the resident and was met with hostility. The resident approached the officer, brandishing a hatchet with violent intent. The officer attempted to flee the domicile, but was prevented as the door was boarded shut. This officer feared for their life and applied deadly force necessary for the continuation of the objective. It was necessary for the survival of the officer to obtain escape by breaking the upstairs window. 3 more civilians brandishing farming implements were outside the domicile, preventing escape. The officer discharged 1 round in an attempt to flee the attackers. Continuing northbound, the officer dispatched multiple avian threats. The officer encountered an injured canine. The officer made attempts to end the suffering of the dog, but was ultimately unsuccessful as the canine fled. Officer radioed animal control for further assistance. Officer encountered and disarmed guerrilla-style explosive tripwires and animal traps choking off the roadway. Officer was prevented escape by an armed civilian. Officer discharged 2 rounds into the civilian and fled. Officer was prevented further progress by 2 more armed civilians. Officer attempted crippling shots, but further aggression from the civilians forced the responding officer to neutralize opposition. Officer was able to successfully breach the gate into the village.
Leon, how you holding up?
Not well, Contrivance. I've got armed resistance by the locals, I'm low on ammunition, and to make things weird, the corpses are instantaneously dissolving into nothing. Sometimes ammo or money, but mostly nothing.
Alright, Leon. Take what you see to disarm the resistance. We're sending in an agent to aid in the destruction of contraband. They'll be able to resupply you as well. If bodies are instantly dissolving, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's not stealing. Shot in the dark, but if you come across what might be considered a genuine monster, consider that you're past to, quote, get this party started, as the kids recently started saying.
That's right, it is 2004. We're out here today looking for information about the president's missing daughter. Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a question? Oh, right. Pardon me. Ha visto esta mujer. Sir, step back. Señor, peligro. Piso majado. Yo soy kill you. Hey, it's me. The villagers got a little too frisky. I tried tactical retreats and strategic cowardice to no avail. Like the mighty PCP user, I stood atop a roof and defended myself. Did you know the easy mode starts you out with a shotgun? Yeah, I'm playing uneasy. I'm expecting to run out of ammo in the castle as is. I snuck around the farm without killing anyone. Found some public land diamonds. Had an explosive time with some ganados. Regretted not being allowed to use herbs. Rescued the severed cat's eye from the tree. And rescued a man from the closet.
Oh! Prefer the beautiful ones tie me up. She got this backwards. American, no?
You speak English.
Sí. Puede hablar español si prefiere. Ahora, ¿chugar smoke? Perfecto. El queso grande.
Hiya!
Hey, wake up. Buenos dias, guapo. We tied together?
Yup.
If we get out of here, you gonna let me buy you a drink?
I'm kinda busy. I'm looking for this girl.
How about after?
Maybe.
Oy, chicos. Puedo ask you algo. Ha 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 ha.
Psst. You want that good?
Special Agent Stranger here to serve and protect your shopping needs. It's 2000s black stereotype.
Officer's escape was blocked. Officer was forced to discharge 13 shots while scavenging for 2 halves of a key necessary to enforce the warrant. Officer killed 5 and injured 10 armed and violent villagers. Following into a decrepit workshop, escape was impeded in every sense. Officer slowly cleared out every room. There were no survivors. In need of medical attention, Officer detoured to scavenge the fish necessary to make fish-based healing salves. Exiting the well, the path was blocked by a home. Upon investigation, the door was found unlocked. Necessary for the execution of the warrant, Officer Kennedy passed through the house. Armed opposition was met outside. Lethal force was necessary for progression. 7 deceased. Officer was able to navigate the rest of the village without conflict. Inside of the church, a secret passageway was discovered in the basement. Following this passageway led to another church. A sort of church, the Matrix. Popped up like Mole Man into the graveyard. Went to the bridge. Hey, speaking of Mole Man, entered a sort of arena. How peculiar. You should vote for Mole Man in my poll. Had a quick time, but not a fun time event. Because if it doesn't win, I can't play it. I was in some sort of flooded town. They stole that from Resident Evil 8. It would be a cool playthrough too. Explosives! Oh, in-game, but not that game. See, it would be Minecraft, only traveling the overworld underground. Saw some guys on a boat. I'd really like to do that playthrough. Ran down to the lake, so please, vote Minecraft as Mole Man. Did I mention this gator ate Dringus? Also, the villagers burnt Drangus, so that means now. This was personal. Previously, not now. I've already edited, recorded, and uploaded the video, as I do before I write all my scripts. So this is like the past. Past tense. Okay, that's as much of this boss fight as you're allowed to see. Mom said so. I had what in 2004 was unnamed, but would later become known as the Cosby Classic, within a shack. Some villagers were tryhards. Solved the mystery of water, it's not wet, I am. Met the El Gigolo and became the second biggest issue between its legs. Just call me pro-state, because I'm a cancer. Inside the church within a church, I met this game's douchey deuteragonist, Ashley.
Back off!
Calm down, Ashley. I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, good. A white guy.
Yeah. Wait. What? Oh, right. 2004.
I'll be taking the girl now, Officer Kennedy.
What do you want with her?
She is a cyber bully. She has been stalking our members on Neopets, saying really racist things and blaming us for 9/11. Her status as the president's daughter was merely the Pop-Tart in the play place.
What's he saying? I don't speak Arabic.
Look, man, just be cool. It's 2004. She's an idiot. Let's talk.
Enough talk. I am really sorry. I was hoping we could be friends on AIM, but I don't see that happening. God damn, you're so cute and edgy. Guards! Kill the girl and not the brooding bad boy.
Spanish, Ashley. They are Spanish.
Impossible.
I promise you, Ashley, Stop with that 9/11 stuff. I know it's 2004, but it's still uncool.
If that's the case, why do they sound so weird?
How do you mean?
I'm not stupid. I took Spanish 1 for 4 semesters.
Shh. You hear that?
That's what I mean. They're all usted, usted. Spanish is like 2 Kiro Taco Bell, Yo Kiro Taco Bell, Nosotros Queremos Taco Bell.
Ashley, now is hardly the time.
Let's just hope they stay on their side of the
Ashley,
border.
they're not Mexican either.
How do you...
We are in the country of Spain. We are in what you might consider the civilized part of Europe. Ashley, it is important to me that you understand this.
Look, can we just get out of here? Using fancy footwork and evasive maneuvers, I got what I'm sure a lot of you think is an offensive stereotype safely out of the village. Well, listen. Who's the expert on 2000s tropes? That's right, me. Stop with the gibbles. Dumb blondes and ignorantly privileged white characters are a quintessential 2000s staple. This is the time capsule episode of Ciara Foxx. It's meant to show future generations how people in the 2020s saw the 2000s. Oops, what's crapping in here? Kinda lost my place editing. Villagers on the bridge, and I got another telenovela bit for this. Or wait, no I didn't. Senor Kennedy, we've gotta stop meeting like this. I see you found your girl. F*** you. When I'm home, my daddy is gonna deport all of you. Try me, you You know we're in Spain, right? I may be Mexican, but something tells me you just got lucky that time. Luis Serra, your only friend in the country. I'll tell you what I think of your friendship.
Ashley!
I see you've got your hands full.
They're leaving. I think it's safe.
So, what about that drink?
Look, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't even know how you know.
What's going on down here? Nothing. I was just leaving.
Adios.
Leon, you're not... What's the acceptable way to ask this? Fruity in the booty?
Well, it definitely wasn't that. Let's just play the quiet game for a bit.
I told Ashley to wait in the garbage where she belonged. Humanely dispatched of the not dead yets, but as of now deads. I found the fan art gender-bent chainsaw guys. Exited out into the cliffside. Used HM3 to fly across the chasm, and had one last trip to the store.
Officer encountered a lone farmhouse. Officer hid the package in a secure location before entering the farmhouse. Officer Kennedy encountered the village leader, who transitioned into a bioweapon. Fearing for their life, the officer raised the threat level from lethal to extreme circumstances. The officer felt that given the circumstances and the current threat, it was well within appropriate force to detonate fuel barrels and incendiary grenades. The deceased had a really interesting eyeball that, for no particular reason that even this officer cannot understand, the officer grabbed the eyeball and returned across the chasm. The eyeball served to further the warrant by acting as a retinal key. A 1055 prevented officer and package passage momentarily. A horde of armed villagers pursued to the south. With no further place to go, Officer Kennedy felt it appropriate to take shelter in a nearby castle. Bought the last shotgun I'll ever own. Let's talk about guns. Can we talk about guns? I'm dying to talk about guns. I'm only allowed the rifles, Glock-style pistols, pump-action shotguns, and magnums. That's all. I played castles and catapults, trademark. Briefly dabbled in the sword trade. Some cult leaders are better than others, though none are the betterest than my... Leon, hold up, I got something for you. Oh, no, wait. That's in my other vest. I'll be right back, I swear. What is it?
Listen, Leon, this is the last time I'll ask, because I can be emotional and brooding. Let's grab a drink later.
Anything you say, Louis.
Adios.
Te amo.
So you're like out then?
Don't ask. Don't tell. Is that still a thing? Anyway, this is like that African country, Nunya. It's Nunya business. My encounter with Louis was almost as short as this guy, who I won't be doing a voice for. This video is already going to be longer than I want. If you request another Resident Evil 4 challenge, leave a comment and then I'll be able to expand the unofficial Ciara Foxx official Resident Evil 4 fanfiction cinematic paperback universe. Wolverine was an issue/non-issue. Remember that issue I forecasted earlier? Yeah, I'm stupid low on ammo. And I know I joke around, but this room right here has the highest difficulty slope in game. This room is honestly the hardest room in the game scaled to what you likely have in a playthrough at this point. It was even more painful without headshots, without being allowed to destroy fixtures for ammo, and without being allowed to use herbs. In a twist only the BBC could write, that's British Broadcasting Corporation and not Big Black Cock. I died and went to a previous point in time, but everything was easier this time. I'm not saying Leon is a Time Lord, don't be stupid. He obviously has a Captain Jack thing going on. I earned some honest money at the shooting gallery. See, I've only been allowed to obtain money from corpses or from treasures inside of public spaces. The shooting game is like a stimulus check. Ashley got trapped as insects swarmed her like flies on feces. I enjoyed fighting insects. They were not humans, so they did not have rights. It was nice to feel like I was playing a video game, at least for a moment. What's funny is I complained about Resident Evil 8 not having enough horror, while this challenge makes Resident Evil 4 feel less like an action game and more like a survival game. My ammo is constantly near empty, my health is almost always low, and center mass / limb shots are terrible in crowd scenarios. The problem is, it kinda sucks. This game is not really paced out to be horror survival. There are some rooms that were only passable because RNGesus granted me the ammo to pass. I'm still not voicing that guy. Grim Reapers were nothing. And I stumbled across an old friend.
Ada Wong, you sneaky bitch. How you been?
Leon Kennedy, you gutter skank.
Girl, you seen an annoying bottle blonde?
How cute. Babysitting.
You're such a bitch. I love it.
See you later, hon. I practiced my shooty skills, ignored another Wolverine, changed my mind and killed him anyway, navigated some bridge shenanigans, made a mint disarming the cultists of their valuable Japanese role-playing games, and then I reunited with an old friend.
Leon! Lewis! Leon! Lewis!
If you like men like him, just wait until you join our Yahoo chat group.
You bastard! I loved that man.
And soon, you will love me.
Leon, I love you. Mi amor. Prometo venganza.
Heartbroken, I had some relief scaring Ashley, shot some cultists, Ashley escaped and began whatever unsupervised nonsense she could get into. Oh, that's the good stuff. Excuse me, sir, no tango dinero? Tight, some more of that. Sir, please, no toucho mio. Damn, this place got it everywhere. I better stoke up this
funny marijuana joke
before I gotta be around the narc. Leon! Dude, have you, like, you know, when you're like, Leon, I missed you. I don't care if you're a fag.
There she is. Glad you're safe, but look, I'm not gay. I'm just... whatever, it depends.
Took the Halo 2 Combat Evolved approach to the Super Mario level. The Roller Coaster Tycoon startled me. The Sonic 3 still hasn't wore off. The ceiling started to fall and there was a digging machine. An obvious old, spelled with an E, timey brigade blocked my path. It was like being on the winning side of Vietnam. Some more insects stole Ashley. Good riddance. She's just kinda baggage. And I like fighting the bugs. I hate bugs, so it's cathartic. Also, they drop jewelry, and if you shoot this hive, it drops a lot of jewelry. Up next, I run right past the tower level I actually kinda like. So, like I said earlier, I'm playing on easy. I've literally never done that before. Apparently, easy mode means some sections are completely closed off. It was a surprise, and not a fun one. Actually difficult stages were left in, and some fun stages were completely removed. Namely, where you get the castle key, the hedge maze, and the tower. Look, the point of the challenge is to see if it's possible to beat Resident Evil 4 without headshots, breaking objects, instigating fights, or stealing. Not to do all of that on the hardest difficulty. I'm more upset than you are that I missed the hedge maze. Got to the right-hand beast. This thing's a genuine monster, which means extreme force is permitted. So I used TM13 and the Western Lawman to end this problemo, entered the Minecraft, the movie, not the book, then arrived at the gag I was most excited for. Y presentando a los luchadores esta noche, ahí, el niño grande, el niño cobarde, Bebe de Cuarro. Y entonces la mujer fuerte, la reina de lucha libre, Gran Mamá. Y el luchador nuevo, el hombre oscuro y misterioso, Leon Kennedy. Bebe de Cuerro comienza con el ataque especial Mega Petada. El hombre oscuro se evade el puñetazo penetrante de la fister de Gran Mamá. ¿Realmente se llama así? Está bien. Pero, ¿en verdad? Bien, está bien. El señor Kennedy es muy practicado en la lucha libre. Fíjate cómo se mantiene lejos de sus enemigos. Entonces el ataque y luego se retira. Señor Kennedy obtiene la medicina. La medicina es una herramienta importante. Y ahora, León se usa el ataque especial Chispa de Luna. Aquí aplica presión y huye. Y otra vez la chispa de luna y otra vez él se aplica presión a la Bebe de Cuarro. Esta pelea se ha vuelto sucia. León monta al bebé como a Serbian film. ¡Ay, ay, ay! Una rafalga de huelgas. Una tormenta de dolor. ¿Qué es esto? El bebé de Cuarro está terminando. Gran Mamá debe estar angustiada. Ella parece haber dejado la pelea. Ella ha dejado de intentar atacar. León mata al madre como a su bebé y se acabó. El ganador es el hombre nuevo, Leon Kennedy. Y para aquellos sin adblock, un mensaje de nuestros patrocinadores. I found myself inside the bug's nest. I like the bugs. I get to kill them with extreme prejudice, and they drop a lot of treasure. In the decrepit town, I attempted a strategic retreat. This suicide cult was determined that I end their suffering. The crypt was such a non-issue. I chained the saws, rode a Percy the train engine, and met the most challenging event to date, QuickTime events. I hate QuickTime events on keyboards. I died approximately an estimated baker's dozens of theoretical deaths on that stupid QTE. I took the ladder to the elevator. Some well-dressed and handsome gentleman attempted to ruin my fun at the bridge. Marcus raised my spirit with a little dance. Marcus survived. A giant stone QuickTime event came to life and chased me. It was actually easier than the train. Officer's progress was impeded by the property owner, who issued an attack before fleeing. Officer Kennedy proceeded up the stairs and encountered trap barrels barreling down the trapped stairs. Officer proceeded up the trapped stairs until encountering a work elevator. The officer removed crates from the elevator and rode it upwards along the Y-axis. Hostile residents of the castle began jumping onto the elevator in a threatening manner that caused me to fear for my safety. Officer Kennedy was forced to apply deadly force and defense to make it to the top of the tower. At the crest, I encountered our undercover agent who warned me the castle owner was waiting for me in the next room. Where's Ashley?
I told you, Mr. Kennedy, I'm not voicing this character.
Come at me, bro! It didn't take much for me and Salazar to see eye to eye. I just had to shoot out his eye holes. This spanking wasn't free, though. I escaped the castle and caught a ride with 100% that bitch. I hate you, Ada. You my best motherfucking friend. But this song is ass. Yeah, you're right. This is my stop anyway. Later, boo. I arrived at a military facility and was met with armed resistance. That checks all the boxes. From this point forward, I can start treating these uniformed soldiers as hostile. This is no longer just enforcing a warrant. This is a war zone. Which brings us to today's sponsor, Call of Duty Warzone. If fast-paced, first-person battle royale gameplay is the kind of content you're interested in, feel free to unsubscribe, because I won't be doing that here. Did one of those Indiana Cruise laser puzzles, snuck onto the premises, met with my undercover, and got to work sieging the building. This area is pretty spooky. I met the Ironed Man. I did the final shooting gallery, completing my stamp collection. Can we talk about good game design? Something Resident Evil 4 did better than later versions was pacing out the enemies to continue the horror experience. The game slaps you hard with the first chainsaw guy, then the Gigante, then in the castle you get learnt about Wolverine. Finally, on the island, they choke up on all the corridors and expose you to the Regenerator. Resident Evil 4 is definitely an action game first, but unlike Resident Evils 5, 6, and 8, Resident Evil 4 paces out the difficulty and surprises just enough to keep you on edge for most of the game. Played a Japanese slot machine. I know it's against protocol, but I have a gambling addiction. I'm pretty stupid, so it was no surprise to learn I had lost the footage of me finding a radio, rescuing Ashley, jumping into the trash, and dealing with the lava crane. Yeah, I don't know how I screwed up that badly. Ashley and I played with our Tonka trucks. Several Ganados tried to catch a ride, but the bumper sticker clearly states cash, grass, or ass, and since the only thing trashier than bumper stickers is to contradict your bumper stickers, I decided they're not allowed. Someone with road rage tried to intimidate me. Little did they know my rage was the roadiest. Popped on down to the drive-thru. I had to get out since they screwed up my order again. I asked for a boy toy, they gave me a stupid action figure. I wanted a man to have and hold. So I shot the manager in the face. I pulled what Mr. Rogers calls a huge screw-up, you absolute failure. When I somehow failed to get footage of Ashley and I finishing the car section, Ashley getting taken away, fighting Clive Barker's The Thing, fighting Krauser, and proof that Leon being bisexual is more than just a joke. I am so upset about this, I don't even... Tonight, on Unsolved Mysteries. A YouTuber's night is ruined when the footage they needed for a video turned up missing in what professionals are calling a big old Drangus move on their part. Stay tuned as we find out what happened.
We were just like driving along and Leon was doing this action movie thing. It was kind of hot. We came to take the girl. Thanks to a little issue at our key party the night before, Mr. Kennedy was unable to stop me.
You're implying an STD of some sort.
It's more like a STP. It's a parasite that we use to control your libido. We want everyone to have European phone times. It's still 2004, so we've got to live up to the Sodom and Gomorrah stereotypes Americans have for us.
Well, I was on the island doing some evil mercenary work. Leon made a real mess of things. He might be a good cop who plays by the rules, but that doesn't change the trail of bodies he left. Ho ho! We used to be partners. Not like that. Oh, I mean, we were gay lovers. We did a couple of missions together, but we were mostly romantic partners. I'm not gonna go casting blame, but I am grown up enough to admit I was at some fault for the knife fight.
Kurt, why are we even distorting this freak? Just play him raw. Nasty thing that was. As I was saying, I was minding my own business when this constable forces his way into my cage. You're referring to Officer Kennedy? Yes, rather aggressive bugger. I was well within my rights asking him to leave. Instead, he goes and knocks off parts of my cage like he owns the place. Warrant or not, I cannot help but feel my rights have been infringed upon.
Well, I don't know anything about Leon and the monster. One wouldn't be surprised. He already gave up the best. What else could be left? Ho ho!
I'd like to urge you to stay on topic. The knife fight, please.
Leon and I had a small knife fight. That's normal.
You don't feel that's excessive force, or at least improper behavior for an officer of the law?
That's a whole other conversation about the use of force matrix. At face value, it seems like an unnecessarily risky de-escalation of force, but in Leon's defense, I'm exceptionally weak to knives. He did kill me with one.
He killed you.
Well, obviously I got better. Ho.
Did Ciara Foxx lose the video footage so she could fix a bet to repay the mob? Was the footage purposefully destroyed in a crime of hot passion? Did she just forget to record or check her hard drive space like some sort of idiot? For now, this mystery remains unsolved. Before we get back into the meat of this thing, you need to look at this. Look at how Leon sits. Okay, that is too much drama for a straight man and not enough nuance for a gay man. If you know someone who sits like that, they are 100% bisexual, and that's law. Okay, crisis averted. Cue cinematic twist. I walked into a death trap. I was totally screwed when...
¿Qué pasa, guapo? ¿Necesita ayuda?
Louis! But how? I saw you die.
No podemos hablar ahora. For now, just see me leave.
Louis and I tore through these jabronis like ham on a Wednesday. It was the Toys R Us blue light clearance event of death. If I was a paladin, Louis was my stupid, sexy barbarian wizard raining death from the sky. Louis knocked the water tower down in a situation President Theodore Roosevelt might call none of my damn business. You'll notice that this game came from the Golden Age, before social justice warriors ruined everything with their whole PC master race thing. This game is completely void of any political message. See, with the current climate of media, this game would have taken advantage of the fact that 9/11 was like 3 years prior, so America had just hit its final stage of rock, flag, and eagle. Like, in the world SJWs want, this game might have been some sort of allegory for America seeing themselves as the world police and how American actions have this trickle-down effect in the world, or how American corporations exploit global tragedies for profit to the detriment of the population. Sorry, you politically correct nerds. The woke crowd can suck it. This is just a simple game about the American government doing what another country's police failed to do and stop a group of bioterrorists who were inspired by a similar event in America and are closely tied to privately traded American pharmaceutical companies. So about that drink.
Nothing else would make me happier. Leon, I am so thankful to have met you. I can't wait until we both get out of here and can spend the rest of our lives.
I made my way towards revenge. Ada and I played the chokeout game. Gotta love these 2004 references. I skipped to the last regenerator, for religious purposes. Just like in the academy, I made some clean shots dealing with the resistance. These dweeboids thought they could out more smarter than me, but me hands knew way through. I mostly avoided fighting, but sometimes I fought, just to keep it spicy. Sadler did a Matrix reference. I suppose it's more appropriate than a Napoleon Dynamite reference. I still think this game is missing a vote for Pedro Easter egg. If the modding community could fix that, I would appreciate it. Not a huge mod, just a single piece of graffiti in a totally optional area that reads a very small "Vote for Pedro." I'd appreciate it. Thank you. We made our way through the tunnels, got into a machine to remove the parasite. Hold up! If this cult's whole shtick is giving people the parasite, why did they develop a means to remove it? Moving on, Ashley and I made our way to the end game.
This is it, Leon. You're loud. You're proud. Go kick some ass.
Ashley, for Christ's sake. Oh, my bad. Thank you. Just stay here. I'll be back. I took a gondola ride to the final boss, and this jabroni done goofed. He already killed my lover, and now he has my best friend. He's lucky he's not a monster, otherwise I'd shoot him in the eyes on purpose. Luckily I cut down Ada, and the stupid idiot turned into a monster, so them eyeballs was all game, boy. Extreme force was necessary to beat this beast. While I fight this guy, we need to have a talk. You sadists all voted for Animal Crossing New Horizons as a Soviet. That's totally doable. It's just gonna take 4 or 5 times as long as a normal game of Animal Crossing. so that video will be coming out, but it's gonna take a while. So I might release it in parts if it's too long, or I might release other videos during the time it takes to complete that game. I've been doing Minecraft as Mole Man in my downtime, so who knows what'll happen. All I know is that I will be doing Animal Crossing New Horizons as a Soviet, I just cannot foresee a time frame. Luckily, Ada came in with the clutch. A rocket-propelled game ender saw the end of the game for Saddler. I almost recovered the sample. Did I mention there's a sample? Hand it over, bitch.
Have you lost your damn mind, woman?
This is just business, Leon.
Alright, just chill.
Gotta run. Don't think I'd leave you hanging. Bye-bye. I skedaddled off to Ashley, and we made our escape.
You better say goodbye, Ashley. It's time to wave, runner.
I navigated the waterways and escaped. Ashley failed to flirt with Leon, and I beat Resident Evil 4 as a cop. But we're not done yet. It's still 2004. You better believe the girl with glasses took off her glasses and suddenly the protagonist noticed how hot she was. Thankfully, the game kept score here for me. I would consider this run completely unfun and without reward. I do not recommend it. This actually kinda ruined a favorite game for me. There were a lot of times where I had almost no ammo, and because I wasn't doing headshots, the enemies were taking 3 or 4 times as much ammo to kill. It wasn't like the Sonic playthrough that was frustratingly hard but kinda rewarding. This was just tough, but in the most boring kinda way. Shout out to the Knights Amalgam, who fund me on Patreon. And shout out to all of you, the viewers. I appreciate you watching. And as always, hiding won't save you.